Boxing TV Studios. Your host, Ranger. Information may cause headaches to hates or bias casual fans.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
The host that gives you facts with very little feelings. From the city of the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali, the man who floats like a butterfly and stings like a bee.
I'm going to show you how great I am.
Louisville, Kentucky. It's showtime.
You already know what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to Raw Boxing TV. We are here, ladies and gentlemen. A very good weekend of boxing. Lots of knockouts yesterday. Of course, I was only able to cover a certain amount, but we're here. We're here to talk boxing. And if there's a fight I didn't watch and you did and you want to comment, as always, the panel will be open later on tonight. As of now, as you come in, remember to hit the thumbs up so YouTube can start sending the notifications. And you can help the channel by simply grabbing the link and dropping it in your social media platform, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Facebook. On the meantime, you can follow me at Twitter at Raw Boxing TV, brand new page. You know I closed the previous one. I reopened it at you all's request. I only got a couple of followers there, but I encourage you to go out there and look for me. Just as you see it on the screen, also on Instagram at Raw Boxing TV. Make sure to go and subscribe to those pages. Keep supporting your boy. Thank you for taking the time to be here. Mr. Vitaly Pico. Que pasa, Ranger? How's it going, boxing community? What's up, my brother? Thank you for being here. Thank you for the support. Jesus M. Don't always see you anymore, but thank you. Thank you for being here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My son, Jamel Matos. What's up, homie? Even though he's sitting next to me. Always supporting, right? Yeah. It's either that or he's got to pay rent. How's that? Commey landed some real good shots on Loma. Loma still gets hit too much. Yeah, we'll go into it. There's a reason I believe behind it, but we'll go into it. The Nair versus Eno Wood. There's a possibility. There's a very good possibility. So we'll see. Raw Boxing TV, Al Cien. What is going on? Evil Green, thank you for being here, my brother. Thank you for being here. Always, always, always grateful for you all's support, man. Of course, we already know that I've been uploading with more consistency, mainly because I have a lot more time in my hand now, even though I'm still busy throughout the day, but I'm not leaving town. I'm not out of state constantly like I usually am. And so with that being said, that leaves me time for when I come back home to upload some videos. So yeah, man. Did I saw Brandon Lee? No, man. I missed it. But like I said, the panel will be open later on after I'm done talking about the fights I'm going to talk about. And the panel will be open. Whoever wants to join, the doors are always open. Long as we keep it respectful. Boxing ain't no biggie. We're going to talk about everything that you all want to talk about. We're going to wait a few minutes just to allow people to come in. Usually they get the notification. They wait a few minutes to come in, and then we'll go into the subject. In the meantime, I'll just keep reading y'all's comments. Thoughts on Pedraza versus Ramirez in Fresno, February 5th. I believe it's styles make fight. It'll make for a good fight, mainly because Ramirez coming out of that defeat, I think he's gonna have a point to prove. But Pedraza ain't no pushover. So I have to sit down and think a little more on that fight. I have to go back and take a look at Pedraza's last fight. And then once the fight is announced and I know it's legit 100%, I'll make a video on that. But styles make fight. And I believe that's a very, very good fight to look forward to. So just yeah, man, boxing is getting their act together. The heavyweights are bringing some good shows coming up here in the next few weeks. Then opening the year, you're going to have another heavyweight show coming up. King Kong Ortiz. I don't agree with the fact it's going to be a pay-per-view, but it is. And me as a boxing fan, you already know that I'm most likely going to pay for it, unless it's like a BS fight, like a Tank Davis or something. Some Mayweather promotion card. I do not pay for Mayweather promotion cards, pay-per-view. And y'all know Mayweather, the fighter, was my favorite fighter. So before any of y'all get any ideas of me hating on Mayweather, no, I just don't agree with the field of cherries. You know, I don't agree with it. Evil Green here says, Raw Boxing, what you think of Anderson Silva looking like the Godfather from WWF? You mean in reference to who he fought the last time? In reference to his boxing match the last time? Who was it that he fought the last time? Oh man, I know he fought somebody on the boxing ring. Do you know who Anderson Silva fought the last time? No. Yeah, I don't remember, but I know he knocked the dude out like immediately. I mean, good for him. As long as we know not to treat these fights as some type of, Anderson Silva building up a record to fight for a world title. Heck no. But as long as you keep it in the mindset of, these are just entertainment purpose, and these are real fighters, but right now they just, they at the end of their careers, cool. It's all good. I'm just not down with, the Logan Pauls and the Jake Pauls of the world making the name. Versus Cito Ortiz, and he cleaned them out. Quite correct. And I don't want to see them people positioning themselves for a world title just because they have a big fan base. That's the only thing I don't want to see. So we're going to wait a few minutes here. Let me see. Jesus and Floyd has better resume compared to Canelo. Floyd faced more Hall of Famers close to their prime. I agree. We went over that a few live streams ago, where I took that chart that was shared by Canelo and we went through it, as diplomatic and as fair as possible. You all can go back and look at that live stream. It's a live stream where Bubu Andrade, you'll see Bubu Andrade and Canelo on the top right corner of the thumbnail. That was a very good live stream as well. Some new people called in. We had very, very interesting interactions. We covered a lot of topics in that live stream. But I agree. So let me see. Raw Boxing TV. No, the heavyweights from last night, undercard from Loma and Commey. No, I did. Oh, you're talking about Henderson, the guy that came out with the pimp walk. Oh, he did. He did what he did, man. Except I felt like. But see, now you're making me talk about the card. So let's pull the reins a bit until the fight starts. I mean, until the live stream fully takes off, and I go over that. But I'll just give you a little peek. The kid is doing what he's supposed to do with the opponents that he's got in front of him. I hope that satisfies for now until I get to that topic. But I'm telling you guys, I don't want nobody to go to sleep on these heavyweights. Don't go to sleep on the heavyweights. I know that Deontay Wilder's hinting at retirement. And some people are thinking once this guy goes, then the knockouts are gone. I'm one of the ones that think that the type of knockouts he gave us are going to be gone. But nevertheless, heavyweights are heavyweight. And somebody going to produce some knockouts. We seen a really good one last night. We seen a really, really good one last night. I'll probably start with the MMA just so I can get that out of the way. But that was a very good fight last night. Congratulations. Let's go ahead and start, man. Out of respect to those that are here with me, man. So first of all, once again, Andre Ward, payday. Andre Ward don't want none of Canelo, man. He just needs to stay out, man. Besides, Canelo ain't not coming back to 168 from what I'm hearing. which I'm a bit bummed out. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I believe that I think Canelo should have at least defended his undisputed at least once, and that would have made him even greater than he is. But I don't know the reasons they do what they do. Just know that I personally didn't like the fact that he just exited the weight division, and that's that. Hey, I've already accomplished everything. I'm out. I still thought that he should have. I thought that he should have. He should have taken care of business a little more. You know what I mean? I think he should have taken care of business a little more. And like I said, Canelo Alvarez with an undisputed defense on his record, that would have silenced a whole lot of haters. A whole lot of haters would have been silenced by that move from Canelo, but he didn't. And unfortunately, he's going to go to another weight division now. And I guess we got to deal with it. Yes, man. Yes. I know this is music, but a legend of mariachi music has died. A legend of mariachi music has died. A legend. One of my favorite singers of all time, Vicente Fernandez, has passed away. When he wrote a song with passion. He wrote a song to a woman, and he put all the passion in there. He will write a movie. He'll make you listen to a movie script and put you in the movie as you listen to his songs. So R.I.P. And my prayers and our prayers should be with the families as we speak. But, he was having a lot of health issues as well. He was battling cancer as well. But a legend has died. And so, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, mariachi music has begun to die as well with the death of Vicente Fernandez. You don't see the palenques as full anymore. When was the last time you hear a mariachi singer just selling out arenas other than Vicente Fernandez? Not even his son. So with that being said, the only thing we are guaranteed, keep this in mind, the only thing we're guaranteed the minute we are born is a timestamp for our death. We just don't know when, but it's guaranteed. And his time came. So RIP to Vicente Fernandez. Prayers with the family. In my opinion, my humble opinion, there will never be another like Vicente Fernandez. And with that being said, expect his music videos on YouTube to blow through the roof with views this week. So, but yeah, man, let's go into boxing, shall we? Let's make things a little happy. And once again, if you have not hit the thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate it. And grab the link to this live stream, drop it in your Facebook or drop it in your Twitter. Just help out, just to help the channel get a little more exposure. First, I want to congratulate Venezuela. I want to congratulate Venezuela because Venezuela has shown to have now a new dominant female in MMA. So put your hands together if you are a Venezuelan. And if you're listening from Venezuela, put your hands together. Congratulations to Mrs. Peña. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this girl has received a lot of hate on the build-up to this fight from the Amanda Nunes crazy psychopathic fans. This girl has received a whole lot of hate, very little support in the build-up to this fight. She was brought as a sheep to the slaughterhouse right? Because the whole world of MMA is used to seeing Amanda Nunes, but in Portuguese is Nunes. They're used to seeing her just bulldozing through her opponents, because to me, it's a her. Don't get offended. But Miss Pena had other plans. This girl said on the build-up to the fight, I'm going to stand up with this chick. I'm going to go at it with her. I'm going to beat her at the stand-up, and I'm going to take that belt away from her. And last night, she came in, first round, kind of timid, feeling the sensations. Amanda Nunes going to work with her strength, kicks her in the leg, sweeps her. And I believe that the first round was won by Amanda Nunes. In fact, most of the damage was done when she put Peñas against the cage and dropped her. That she went down with the ground and pound. I believe that elbow landed on the eye, and that's what gave Peñas that swelling, because there wasn't an accumulation of punches. Second round comes in, and Amanda Nunes is feeling comfortable. She's already controlled the first round. She took her opponents down. She ground and pounded her opponent. But this chick comes in, and she stays. Here comes the secret to her game. She stays on the outside. And you might say, what does that got to do with anything? If you notice, when Amanda Nunes fights, she's either looking for her opponents to be attacking so she can unload overhand rights on her, or she's looking for her opponents to be backing constantly, but without throwing punches, so that she can move forward and still throw punches. But what Peña had in plan last night was stay away from her reach, do not attack first as much as you can, allowed her to be the ones initiating the attacks, but you are at a distance enough to where she might land or she may not, but you're still close enough when she does attacks to put your jab together and an overhand right over Amanda Nunes' jab. And let me tell you something, 90% of the time, Peña's 1-2s, Peña's lead overhand rights, Peña's single jabs were just landing. You see Amanda Nunes' nose? You see Amanda Nunes unloading the bombs and missing. So she was getting hit and she was missing. A recipe for disaster. A recipe for disaster, because you get tired, right? Not only do you get tired, but Amanda Nunes, being the dominant beast that she is, now she's got this chick in front of her, totally beating her to the punch. So emotions are running high. Embarrassment is running high. You're missing. You're getting hit. There goes the stamina. There goes the energy. There goes the focus. You're gone. Amanda Nunes just gets reckless, still throwing bombs, lands once in a while, but Peñas is still landing the 1-2s and the overhand rights. Till the fight, takes the course. Peñas is still in the game. Peñas landing flush right towards close to the stoppage. At that point, Peña is already unloading at her with a lot of success. You see the desperation in Amanda's face. You see how she's gasped. The fight goes to the cage, and that's all she wrote. I mean, to the floor, and that's all she wrote. And just like that, the recycle system of the MMA champions has begun in that weight division. And we have a new champion, Miss Peñas. Miss Peñas from Venezuela is the new champion. I believe bantamweight champion. I'm not too familiar with the UFC weight divisions, but I believe it's the bantamweight champions. I believe as well that, don't think I'm hating. I'm just keeping it real. I also believe she's going to lose her title in her first defense, depending on who she goes with. There's a lot of beasts in that weight division. I believe she'll lose her title in her first defense. And give me a second here, guys. I also believe that Amanda Nunes is probably going to get ready for a rematch. She's not going to let this slide by like this. She's not. I think she's going to get really prepared for this fight. If Peñas gives her a rematch, then that's still a fight I want to see. That's still a fight I want to see. And I believe there's a good chance Amanda Nunes might reclaim the titles. She's just a strong, solid individual. She's a woman that's constantly training with men, sparring with men, hitting men and being hit by men. And so I don't know what happened to her last night, but I don't want to take away from this girl. I just don't. I don't want to take away from her because she did a heck of a job. She stuck to her game plan. She stuck to her game plan. By sticking to her game plan, remaining calm in the deep waters, it allowed Amanda to really act reckless. It allowed Amanda Nunes to really just lose her cool. And then it opened the doors for her to still attack Amanda Nunes with success and ultimately stopping her. Not just beating her, but stopping her. So congratulations to Miss Peñas for being the new bantamweight champion of the world. And the story begins for her. Let's hope she has success as a champ. I just believe she'll lose it in her first title defense. Also, congratulations to Mr. Oliveira for defeating Justin Poirier. I think that boy gonna keep that belt around his waist for a while. I don't see nobody beating him. Congratulations to Nonito Donaire. Let's start talking about boxing now. Yeah, Puerto Rican rum, man. I already talked about that, man. I'm bummed. You know? I'm bummed. Like when I heard the news today, I was at work and the song that popped to my head was like, hablando de mujeres y cantinas se fueron consumiendo las botellas. Pidieron que cantara mis canciones y yo me eché unas dos en contra de ella. De pronto que se acerca un caballero, su pelo ya pintaba algunas canas. Me dijo, le suplico compañero, que no hable en mi presencia de las damas. Hey man, mariachi music has taken a stab today. Back to boxing. Nonito Donaire. Congratulations to the Filipino Flash, Nonito Donaire. Gil Lopez in the building. Welcome, my brother. Welcome. Yes, sir. Nonito Donaire is after Naoya Inoue, the monster. Naoya Inoue. How do I know this? Because he's been saying it. How do I also know this? Because he's been putting in the work to get back in that roster. And he ain't just been putting the work, he's been stopping his opponents. And when he fought Naoya Inoue, let me tell you something. He broke that boy's face. Just Naoya is the monster. AKA the monster. Puerto Rican Rum here says, I was playing Mexico. I was playing Mexico lindo Mexico lindo y querido today. I'm not even Mexican. No, neither am I. But I had to honor the man. Oh, dude, trust me. Like I said, get ready to see all of his YouTube music videos just blow up. Same thing happened when Juan Gabriel died. Remember? His videos shot up to like 100 million views. Some have over 3 billion views. So, yeah, man. Yeah. Nonito Donaire is after Naoya Inoue. Now, call me a hater. But I got to keep it real. Because there's some history behind what I'm about to say. You know, the only man that has truly embarrassed Nonito Donaire, his name is Guillermo Rigondeaux. And yes, I know he looked extremely horrible against John Rier. Even I was like, nah, dude, they're not going to give you the fight like this. Even if you've made a miss, even if you've touched him more, it doesn't matter. You're not getting this fight. Even if you're the champ, they're not going to give you this fight because that's not what they want to see. But that same guy that now has left a bitter taste in the eyes of the boxing fans today is the only man that has truly embarrassed Nonito Donaire, that has truly dominated Nonito Donaire. And so I find it kind of interesting that he's really after Naoya Inoue, and he has never been interested on going after Guillermo Rigondeaux, even when Guillermo Rigondeaux has said, I want the rematch. I'm open for the rematch. If he wants it, come get it. Especially at this age. But, you know, to each his own, right? Guillermo, high risk, low reward, I guess. Naoya Inoue, high risk, high payday. Ain't nothing wrong with a payday. In my opinion, and in your opinion, I know that every boxer, especially at the end of their career, towards the end of their career, and Nonito, being fair, is towards the end of his career. He probably has two, maybe 3 years left in his arsenal. But he's after the money now, and legacy. Not just money, but also legacy, because he's fighting the right fights. He's a champ all over again, and he's going after the monster. And of course, going back after the monster, you run the risk of getting beat again. But what if, just what if you win, then you're the man to beat the monster. And then that opens the door for a trilogy. And what does a trilogy set means? It means the exact same thing. Another big paycheck and another possibility to continue to add to your legacy. And so I'm not mad at the moves that Nonito Donaire is doing. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, that's, after all, sometimes we criticize his boxers, but let's be real for a minute. You put yourself in their positions and you're like, well, what if I was them? What would I do? Because let's be real. Nonito Donaire is already a legend in the sport. He ain't came up the ranks by cherry picking. Yeah, just like every professional fighter, he started off just getting a bunch of low-level oppositions to build a record, to gain the experience, right? And he was successful in some of his big fights. In others, he wasn't. But he's done his due diligence to be thrown in there with the best of the best. He's done his due diligence to also be considered amongst the best. He's done his due diligence to also be considered amongst the great Filipino boxers, one of the great Filipino boxers of all time. With the, still under Manny Pacquiao, of course. Now, I don't think nobody will ever touch Manny Pacquiao's accomplishment that's from the Philippines. I mean, it's not often you see an 8-division world champ, regardless of where he's from. You pick the country, you're not going to find a lot of 8-division world champs. You're just not going to. So a lot of Flomos get mad when I say, and you already know, Floyd Mayweather's my favorite fighter. But Flomos, who are the Flomos? Flomos are the fans that are emotionally invested in Floyd Mayweather. And they don't care about Floyd Mayweather, the boxer. It's the image, the color, the skin color, the godlike figure. The Flomos get mad at me, and they can't understand when I say, yeah, Floyd is my favorite fighter. And I believe if he fights Manny Pacquiao 10 times, he beats Manny Pacquiao 10 times. But in my opinion, Pacquiao is greater than Floyd Mayweather. How can you say that, Ranger? Floyd Mayweather never lost a fight. Listen to me. Can you seriously tell me that 50-0 is greater than 8-division world champ? Let that sink in for a minute. Let it sink in. 8-division world champ. I'm talking about my favorite fighter, and I'm talking about Manny Pacquiao here. Floyd Way better than Pacquiao. If they fight 10 times, beats Pacquiao 10 times. But in my opinion, Pacquiao is greater than Floyd Mayweather because of the accomplishments. Now, with that being said, I'm also taking into consideration the fact that Floyd Mayweather liked to take long breaks, retired for 2 years, will come in and retire again. All of that good stuff. I know all of that. Still, a division world champ. That's the phrase I'm going to leave there for y'all to think about. And so I don't think Nonito Donaire is ever going to surpass that. Obviously, it's too late already. I don't think Jorriel Dortico is ever going to do nothing like that either. But Donaire, going back to him, has done his due diligence to be where he's at today. He cannot receive any criticism, even when he's looked bad. I mean, when he fought Guillermo Rigondeaux, Guillermo embarrassed him, but there was a few rounds where he really tried. He really, really, really tried. You know, but Guillermo was just too much for him. And I believe that if he fights Naoya Inoue again, I believe Naoya will destroy him this time around. But it's at least going to give him a shot at redemption. It's at least going to put another huge paycheck in his purse. And boxing, you know, boxing, one of the things I love about boxing is you're never 100% on your quote unquote prediction, are you? Never. I mean, the possibilities of your favorite fighter winning, yeah, they're high. But boxing has given us a taste of that medicine called upset. Right? And who knows? Why not take the risk of going against Naoya Inoue? Why not? Why not? Toby Bartlett in the building. What's going on, brother? Thank you for being here. Welcome. Salute Raw Boxing and the chat. Thank you, sir, for being here. Thank you. We're getting the engines warmed up right now. I'm tired. I've been up since 5:40 in the morning. Went and put 11 and a half hours worth of work today. Extremely tired. But here I am. So my mind is kind of cloudy. My train of thought is a bit off. You're going to see me fighting myself from going, that was a real one. So I need y'all to bear with me because I'm tired. And I have the feeling that we're going to be here for a little over an hour and a half. And we're about 34 minutes in. But I got that feeling. And I really need y'all's support. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I'm tired. So, yeah, I don't know about what you all think. I personally believe that Naoya Inoue and Nonito should be next. I mean, last time we seen Naoya Inoue, he won by knockout, right? We're kind of used to seeing that. And it's been a while. So he's got time to really study Nonito Donaire again. And I'm pretty sure Nonito Donaire has been studying him. Now, the one thing Nonito doesn't have is time. If I was Nonito, I'd go home, take about a month off, be with the family, relax, replenish my body. And then if the fight gets made, back into training camp ASAP. At this age, you don't have the luxury to just chill at home and do nothing about it and just wait. No, you got to stay busy. And if it ain't, he says, Ranger needs a payday. Ranger needs a payday all the time. All the time. I'm a hardworking man. I don't like handouts. Don't. And I find it funny. There's some people that here on YouTube hating them on YouTubers because we get super chats or cash apps or stuff like that. And I'm like, do you not realize we are investing our time that we can be putting towards our families? We are investing our time to create content for your entertainment. And you're going to tell me those YouTubers don't deserve whatever goes their way in return for them investing that time? So not only do I work a lot, but I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Yo, no, in the building. What's up, my brother? Thank you for being here. Remember to hit the thumbs up, guys, as you come in. And as always, if you have a Twitter, if you have a Facebook, grab the link to this live stream and drop it out there. You never know who'll be interested in this content. I reopened my Twitter once again. Brand new page, 3 or 4 followers only. And you see it up there in the top left corner. And also my Instagram. And if you're on Twitch, there as well. I'm going to start live streaming to Twitch as well. So, and the Patreon, I have not put any work on it, but the Patreon, I'm reserving the Patreon to do fight reviews because I'm not going to get a copy strike in Patreon. So that's where I'm going to take the fight, do a review, slow down the scenes and all of that good stuff. So don't go to Patreon until I tell you guys. I don't want your money, just like that. Unless I put content. If you feel like it, then you go to the Patreon. But I don't want y'all over there becoming members and paying when I'm not really putting in any type of content there yet. So, but just know that there is a Patreon as well, and it's called Raw Boxing TV. So just keep that in mind. Let me see here. Puerto Rican Rome, congratulations, Juliana Pena. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We open our live stream today talking about that. Venezuela has a champ. And I'm stoked. I'm happy for her. She just got to stay focused as a champ now. The hard work begins now. This goes the same for boxing and MMA. A lot of people go, oh, man, it's so hard to become a champ. No, it ain't. It's harder to remain a champ because a champ's mind is the devil's playground. When you become a champion, you got cousins you never knew coming out of the stone, out of the rocks. You got people that used to not like you. Now they love you. You got people coming on to you, creating stuff and creating hate towards you. You got family members that used to come see you once a year. Now they want to be in your house every weekend. They even offer to buy you some things just to see if you can warm up when their birthday comes around and see if you can give them something real good. And they might throw hints like, ay, qué lindo está el Rolex ese. What a beautiful Rolex. Oh, man, one day I'll save up my money so one day I can have one. Well, continue to save it, homie, because I ain't buying it for you. I'm not buying it for you. So every champ, whether it's boxing or MMA, the hard part is to remain a champ because you got to stay focused. You got to deal with the personal issues. You got to deal with the leeches. You got to deal with the fake family members. And then you got to deal with the fact that everybody wants what you got. Everybody wants what you got. And it doesn't matter who you pick. You're always going to get accused of ducking somebody. If you pick your mandatory, oh, yeah, he picked his mandatory because he was afraid of such and such. If you pick such and such, oh, see, he was afraid of his mandatory, man. See, that's why he picked him. Guy wasn't even his mandatory. He picked him. If you pick number 1 ranked, see, he should have picked this guy or the mandatory. But now you know he ducking those 2 guys. So you got to deal with all of this stuff in your head. You got to deal with all of this stuff in your head. You got to deal with all of this stuff, people and family members. And then you have to deal with the fact that you have to become a slave to your body, a slave to the gym to remain at the top of Everest. If you don't do that, your success will be very, very limited. I'm telling you right now, your success is going to be extremely limited. So yeah, I agree. Congratulations to Miss Peñas. And let's see here. Congratulations to Miss Peñas. And the work begins now. In regards to Brandon Lee, Mr. half Mexican, half Korean, the kid, you have to kind of give a lot of credit to this kid. I mean, think about it for a second. A lot of people might think, oh, he got it easy. No, he don't. No, he don't. This kid is a college student. And the family has told him he has to prioritize his professional degree or his college life. He's got to have a degree just in case it doesn't work with boxing. And you know who else thought the same way? The greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali. I think half Filipino. No, I believe he's half Korean, half Mexican. In fact, Google that for me if you don't mind, man. I believe he's half Korean, half Mexican. I'm pretty sure. But if he's half Filipino, I'll stand corrected. But I believe he's half Korean, half Mexican. The mom has told him, no, mijo, because the mom's Mexican, I believe. I think it's the mom that's Mexican. Or is it the dad? I'm kind of lost. You have to get a college degree. You have to get an education. And so Brandon Lee's focusing on his education. You know? Like I can see the Mexican side of him. They're like, no. Get you your diploma. But you know, the Asian side, the Asian community is very, very centered in their education. And I give him all the credit in the world. And like I said, the same thing, Muhammad Ali thought in the same fashion. One day he was asked in an interview, what is your advice to an up-and-coming young fighter? And Muhammad Ali looked at the kid and told him, get an education. Because boxing is not promised. But if you have an education and boxing doesn't work for you, you have something to fall back on. And so Brandon Lee right now is not only keeping himself in shape, not only fighting really good, not only moving up the ranks, but he's also getting an education. I don't want to hear nothing about he's fighting bombs and cherry picks. Like I said earlier, every fighter has faced a handful of cherry picks in their entire career to either build a record, to either remove some ring rust. But every fighter has faced a handful of cherry pick in their career. I'll just leave it at that. So we don't need to be hating on Brandon Lee at all. We just need to give the kid some credit. We definitely need to give the kid some credit. So moving on, let's go ahead and talk about the fights oh my goodness. No, wait a minute. I cannot go on without first talking about that first round knockout that Mr. Conor Benn, the offspring of Mr. Nigel Benn, delivered yesterday. Boy, he put our boy Chris Algieri to sleep. Oh, we're going to talk about Mr. Xander Zayas as well. How's that? Listen, guys. Nigel Benn was a dog. Let's see. He's half Korean, bro. You're right. Yeah. It's all right. Ain't no biggie. Nigel Benn was a dog. The father was a dog. Pit bull. You can choose the breed. Whatever fighting breed you want to choose. Nigel Benn was a dog. And the son has come out being a dog himself. Now, he's still a young pup. He's still coming up. Yeah, he ain't going to look good in all of his fights. In fact, his last fight, he didn't look that great. But he won. So we're not always going to guarantee that contenders, up-and-coming fighters are going to deliver hell of a fight after hell of a fight after hell of a fight after hell of a fight, because after all, they're humans, and some days they have their ups, other days they have their ups. So Conor Benn, it's just building his career. He fought Chris Algieri. Now, Chris Algieri ain't no bum. Yeah, his best days are past. He's a pretty decent boxer. A guy that keeps himself in shape all year round. Very knowledgeable when it comes to nutrition and getting in shape. Extremely knowledgeable. I believe he has a master's degree in that. But Conor Benn didn't even play last night. He just went for the kill. If all of you guys that have dogs, You may come from work and your dog hasn't eaten, and you take like a piece of meat, and they don't even wait till you put it on the plate. They want to take it out of your hands. This kid went out there. He went after Chris Algieri. And what's crazy about it, he's 1-2. His counter 1-2 was so quick, Algieri didn't see it coming. Most of the time, that's the punch that knocks you out, the one you never see coming. You don't prepare for it. You don't anchor your legs for it. Your mind doesn't process for it. It's just like lights out. The knockout was pretty brutal. Conor Benn knocked out Algieri in a very raw fashion. That boy went down. There was no way he was getting back up. Like at all. At all. And Mr. Conor Benn, he wants to pay a piece of that can man. Mr. AB. Anybody can get it. Mexicans, Dominicans, anybody can get it. But the problem is that anybody can get it sounds like a fake slogan because Mr. Can-Man has turned down two very lucrative offers to fight Conor Benn. So now we got AB allegedly sounding like a duck. No longer Mr. Can-Man. Now he's Mr. Moving through the waves while making some money, man. Conor Benn called him out publicly yesterday. What's next for Conor Benn? I want Adrian Broner. That's it. That's the man I want. I want nobody else. I want Adrian Broner. And I believe, let me see. Let me share the screen here real quick. I believe Adrian Broner and Conor Benn will be a heck of a fight. I truly do. You see. Let me remove this. Bear with me. I believe that Conor Benn, in my opinion, though, oh, man, look at that. I just want y'all to look at that. That is nasty right there. Like, I really, there's no way this guy was going to get up after getting tapped like that. Look at the eyes right here. Look at the mouth. Now, to understand the gravity of this knockout, look at where he landed that punch. The lights were turned off the minute the impact occurred. I really want y'all to know that. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow, boy. Conor Benn ain't playing, man. And then, like I said, he's calling out AB. I think the fight should happen. In fact, again, I'll repeat it. I think it'll make for a very exciting fight. Take a quick look at Nonito's KO. No, that boy wasn't going anywhere. Ooh, boy, all the rice and beans that boy ate were stirred up by that punch. All the rice and beans that boy ate was stirred up by that punch. Nope, going down again. It's over. Yeah, Nonito doing his thing, man. Well, back to Conor Benn. Hey, listen, man. The boy, I hope he gets the fight made. I truly do. I truly do believe that the fight versus Adrian Broner will make for a very good fight. And another man I wanted to talk about tonight is, in my opinion, the actual representative of Puerto Rican boxing, Mr. Xander Zayas, making a name for himself, man. Making a name for himself. Now, I interviewed this young man, and I believe that his mindset is where it needs to be. I believe that his mindset is where it needs to be. I asked him some very crucial questions. I even went into as far as asking him what kind of people he keeps around him. And he said, that his friends are the type of friends that keep his training schedule in mind. And if they see that whatever they're doing is going to put him past his training schedule, they'll tell him, hey, we need to cut this. Come on, you need to go to the gym. So, and I'm like, yeah, that's the kind of friend you need. The ones that will encourage you to continue to go to the gym. Sounds like he's got mom and pop in his life, father presence in the home. Offers a good opportunity for success. Very ambitious, and that's always good, especially on a young champ. You want him to have some type of ambition. And I asked him, in fact, the video is in my Instagram. If you all want to go take a look at it, I asked him if Xander Zayas reaches the level of fighters, the status where he gets to pick a big Mexican name for the Mexico versus Puerto Rican legendary boxing war. Who does he want? And before I even said want, he said Canelo Alvarez. Now, of course, Canelo's gone. That train has sailed. I mean, that ship has sailed. But he said, yeah, he retired my favorite fighter, and I want to get back at it for that. Right? It shows the ambitions that the kid has. Call it immaturity. Call it cloud chasing. I don't care what you call him. In my opinion, that's a good mindset to have. You set yourself a really high goal and you push forward until you reach it. And say he doesn't even reach Canelo. Let's just say for a minute, he never fights Canelo. I believe he will never fight Canelo, but at least if he pushes through his career with that goal in mind, he's going to put a lot of people to sleep. I told you guys I'm tired. He's going to put a whole lot of people to sleep. And so congratulations to Mr. Xander Zayas. Another man last night that, in my opinion, made a statement is Mr. Keyshawn Davis. Let me see if I can find the video here because I want to share it. I want to share it with you guys. The little clip of Mr. Keyshawn Davis fight last night. Let me see if I can find it here. Oh, I don't even want to talk about this boy right here. We'll just leave it at that. How's that? Bob Arum, 90th birthday, man. I guess. Well, I can't find a video for Keyshawn Davis, but easy work of his opponent. Easy work of his opponent. He figured him out really quick too. He figured him out really quick. He figured, I'm not going to get him out by the headshots because Haka Mustang, Raw Boxing TV, # no hate. Got you, brother. Got you. I no longer consider you one of my haters. I no longer consider you one of my haters. We good. Hey, Ranger, what's going on with Virgil Ortiz? I believe he left the Garcia Academy. As far as any, but I'll have to take a look. If there's anything other than that, I'll have to take a look. I couldn't tell you what's going on with him. But if you have any type of info, share it with me, and we'll go from there. But yeah, Mr. Keyshawn Davis, he figured last night that his opponent was a tough cookie to figure out in the first round, but he studied him. And when you saw, let me go back. I want y'all to look at that double uppercut.
What you're seeing is a young man that's in total control of the ring.
Look. Pam, pam, pam. Goodbye, pam. Goodbye. Young fighter figuring out his opponent. Young fighter with a heck of a team. Terrence Bud Crawford backing him up. And that's what a prospect is supposed to do. They're supposed to just take care off whoever they got in front of him. Boom. Nasty, nasty, nasty. Here comes. Boom. That's it. The chilaquiles, the sope, everything out the window. That's it. That boy ain't getting up. Look at him. He gonna be peeing blood for at least a couple of days. At least couple of days. That's it. So Keyshawn Davis, congratulations. And another one that I wanted to talk about is the Don Pablo, the player, Mr. Player. Let me see if I can find his knockout somewhere around here. Player, Don Pablo. Boy walked out with the furry white coats and the hat tilt to the side with the cane and the pimp limp, looking for them girls to sell them rocks on the corners. Let me see. Here it is. Our boy took care of business last night. Now, he did what he was supposed to do with the opponent that he had in front of him. That does not mean I'm taking away from what he done last night, because last night he made adjustments. And he figured, wait a minute, as a southpaw, I'm open for that right that he's landed a couple times in my chest and in my chin. So let me make some adjustments. He came out as an orthodox and took care of business. In fact, he landed that knockout power hand on top of, what was it, Telesco? On top of Telesco's gloves. And he put him to sleep. And the kid, some people might like the showboating, others may not. But that's part of the entertainment. And so, let me see. Yono here. Ranger, Virgil versus Sander is a good future fight for Mexico versus Puerto Rico rivalry. They both 147 pounders and the future and future stars. I get it, but Xander is not going to stay at 147. That kid is growing so much that don't be surprised if he's going to move to the 154 here in the next year and a half, maybe two. He's tall, he's solidly built, and he's still in the development stages of his body. I don't even think he's 20 years old. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this kid struggling to make 147 in the near future. I really don't. He's at that age right now where the testosterones are crazy in his body, where he can recuperate immediately. He can put on some muscle easy. I believe he's at the limit of 147. I think this kid will grow out of 147 very soon, as a matter of fact. Extremely soon. So going back to the heavyweight, he did what he was supposed to do. In my opinion, he still cannot be put in there with a Frank Sanchez, a King Kong Ortiz, or anything like that. But they're doing what they need to do with this kid. He's having success. And like I said, the heavyweight division will be giving us some showdowns. Give it a few years, and let's see where he's at. Give it a few years. If he remains disciplined, if he doesn't let the ego get to his head, if he remains focused to the point where he's able to take constructive criticism, he's able to identify his faults and work on them to polish his skills. As long as he's able to keep that mindset, that open mindset that I'm not perfect, no matter if I'm winning everything by knockout. That's a dangerous fighter to look. That's a dangerous fighter, a good fighter to look for. I truly believe that kid will do what he needs to do to be bigger. Yono here says, Xander is 19 and Ortiz is 23. They both 5'10". Yeah, but the body type, if you look at Xander Zayas And if you look at Virgil Ortiz, the body build, the body type are so different. I mean, even Xander Zaya's head, that kid has a massive head, jaw structure. I mean, he looks big. I mean, when you look at his weigh-ins, you could tell that he's at the limit. I'm telling you, Yono. I'm telling you, Xander is not going to stay at 147 very long unless he's willing to struggle through the weight cuts, and I don't recommend it, especially because the weight cuts affects how much testosterone his body produces. The more fat you take away from your body, especially at that age, the more you mess with your hormones. And so you don't want to put too much fat because then it becomes unhealthy. But you also don't want to keep pushing and punishing your body 3, maybe 2, 3, 4 times a year to make these weight cuts when your body is telling you, look, I want to grow. I want to grow. I want to produce testosterone, but in order to produce testosterone, I need healthy fats. I need a lot of water. I need a lot of carbs. I need all of these components. I honestly believe when I look at him and when I see him after being rehydrated and when I see him just chilling on an interview, that is one big kid. And when I say big, I don't necessarily mean height. Trust me, man. And that's not speaking ill of him, but that's something he can't control. I mean, his body's developing and he's going to go whichever way his body's going to go. But what I like about him is I think he's going to carry Puerto Rico in his shoulders. To me, I've said it in the past. I'll repeat it again. I'm sorry if people get their feelings hurt. Berlanga is not, in my opinion, the representation of Puerto Rican boxing. To me, it's this young man right here, Mr. Xander Zayas. To me, that's the man that's going to carry Puerto Rico's boxing in his shoulder. I'm telling you, mark my word. Mark my word. This kid right here you're looking at, that massive head, if the mask was off, that massive jaw with that massive chin, that kid right there, he gonna carry Puerto Rican boxing in his shoulder pretty soon. Think about it. Look at the difference between him and Berlanga. Right? You don't hear this kid talking about, oh, AKA the monster. You don't hear this kid talking about, yeah, I paid $250 for a haircut. You don't see this kid hanging out with the rap stars. None of that. You see this kid focused, living with mom and dad, paying attention to mom and dad, still aware the mom has the chancla in her hands. Let me repeat that again. Still aware the mom has the chancla in her hands. And all of that serves as a good humble pie to keep this kid in the right track, in the right mindset for success. I'm telling you guys, if you're Puerto Rican, look at this. Look at this monstrosity. Look at this monstrosity. Yono, I want you to take a look at this monstrosity. Look at this. Ain't no way this kid is going to remain at 147 for much long. Look at that big head. There is no way, Yono, that kid right there is going to stay at 147 for much long. I give him 2 years tops. And I mean, that's pushing it. I give him 2 years tops, and that kid will be really, really struggling to make 147. And that's not saying nothing bad of him. It's not talking about his skills. I believe, again, to me, that's Puerto Rican boxing right there, right now, not Berlanga. But if him and Ortiz is going to happen, it's going to have to happen at 154. I truly believe that. I truly, truly believe that. So going back to Jared, we give him time. We give him time to develop. We give him time to see if he remains focused in what he needs to remain focused on. We manage the opponents that he fights. I say we, but I'm talking about his team, really. We just absorb and watch. And depending on how he grows in his career, that should give us a pretty decent idea as to what kind of fighter we will have in the future. And so right now, yeah, he's hot, he's exciting. But let's not put the fighters in clouds that they don't belong to. Let me get caught up with the comments here before I go to the next fight here. Yono says exactly. Berlanga got that pride in that. And yeah. The Puerto Rican culture. But boxing wise, it's Xander all the way. Correct. I mean, some dude got mad at me when I said that. I'm like, y'all, you realize I'm still talking about a Puerto Rican fighter, right? Or you just that invested, emotionally invested in Berlanga to the point that you don't care about Puerto Rican boxing. All you care is about Berlanga. And I'm not saying Berlanga is a crappy fighter. No. But if you want me to be honest, Berlanga, in my opinion right now, he will not beat Benavidez. If you want me to be honest, Berlanga will not beat David Morrell Jr. If you want me to be honest, I can truly tell you, and this is going to sound ridiculous to some, but I believe Caleb Plant will outbox Berlanga all day. Obviously, there's always the possibilities that if Berlanga lands, you might go night-night. That doesn't take away from the fact that although Berlanga has advertised himself correctly to make the money, that he's been hanging around the right people to get the exposure and get the purses, that he's been buying the right type of jewelry and talking about the right things to get exposure, about the $250 haircuts and the $6,800 sunglasses and the $96,000 ring and the $280,000 chain and all his BS and the $5,000 pair of Jordans and all that BS. Although he's got all that rocking for him, that ain't gonna help you in the ring. All that's creating is a persona in the fan's mind. So that's why when I look at both of these fighters, I'm like, yeah, nah. Berlanga is on the verge of getting schooled, and this is here we have this kid who's not hanging out with Fat Joe, who's not hanging out with little, you know, there's so many littles right now that I've lost counts of the littles. Little whatever, little this, little that, little whatever, little booger, little whatever. This kid is hanging out with mom, dad, little girlfriend, still being chaperoned. His little homies are like, hey, bro, I know we balling. I know we playing mini golf, but we're 20 minutes away from the gym and you're supposed to be training in half an hour. So we're stopping right now. We're getting in this car and we're going to the gym. Those are the kind of friend you need to have around you. If you're watching, I don't know who you are. If you're an amateur boxer moving up on the ranks, remember something. Your success is not only determined by the kind of work you put in, but it's also determined by who you listen to. And that who includes not only family members, not only spiritual leaders, but the people around you, in your circle, the homies. Like, I really wish that boxers didn't feel like they needed hype man. When I see boxers with hype man dressed like Flavor Flav, screaming for them, starting issues for them, it's a big turn off, in my opinion. Can't handle it. Don't like it. If you're strong enough mentally, you don't need none of that stuff. But if you want to look good in front of today's people's, what they expect from a fighter, what they expect from a celebrity, then you're gonna hang around all those kind of people. This is why I'm high on Mr. Xander Zayas. Just a home kid, un chamaquito del barrio. Sorry for my non-Latino brothers. The Boricuas in the chat understands. Un chamaquito del barrio, little kid from the block. Mom and dad. Oye, niño, ven. Ya te hice los pasteles, los arroz con gandules. Okay, mom, I'll be there in a minute. He listens to mom. He does his homework, hangs out with his little girlfriend, hangs out with his homies, gym on time, all the training in, shows up to the ring, takes care of business in the way he's supposed to as an up-and-coming fighter, and that's what you need to be successful. And so, Berlanga, congratulations, great exposure. But no, to my Puerto Rican brothers and sisters, mi hermano, porque, Cuba and Puerto Rico, we're so similar. Even our flags. I mean, they just took our flags and inverted the colors. Our cultures is about 95% similar. We're into the same thing. Salsa, merengue, pelea de gallo, caballo. We're into the same thing. To all my Puerto Rican brothers out there, erase Berlanga as the representative of Puerto Rican boxing in your head and place it with the little men, the very little known Xander Zayas. You will be extremely successful. Puerto Rican Rom here says, I think Xander Zayas is going to be a beast. No, you're wrong. He's already a beast. He's not going to be. He's already a beast. It's just the beast is eating appetizers right now. You know why? Because he want to get his stomach used to the big meals. He ain't going to be a beast. He's already a beast. Let me take this hat off. Look at this, man. I'm so old. I'm thinking about shaving my head, man. Y'all can see I got a lot of hair, man. I'm thinking about shaving my head, but we'll see. Or either get a buzz or a nice little ball fade or something. I might get Berlanga's haircut. $250. Hey, man, let me get a 2 on top, man. And then let me get them blurry fades on the side and taper it mid-high on the back, bruh. Yeah, nah, no lines. What's it going to be? Oh, yeah, it's going to be $250, boss. No, it ain't, because you're not cutting my you ain't going to cut my hair for $250. Max, I'll give you is $25, homie. I'm not giving you no $250. Hell no. Xanders versus Virgil Ortiz at 154 is a future super fight. Correct. I agree. They can fight at 154 in the future. Correct. I'm just getting caught up with the comments so I can move on to the main event of the night. Let's see here. What a coincidence. They both get a divorce and they both end up in the hospital. Pure comedy. Shaka Milk Rogers. I believe you're referring to Punch. Punch not divorced. But I'm kind of concerned about grown men gossiping about another grown man in another grown man's live stream when a real man, at least this is how I was brought up, when a real man will go to the man he's got concerns with and take care of business with the man he's concerned with. I'm just going to leave it at that. But right now, all I see is a lot of people coming to me talking about, don't you think you lied about Punch, man. You said he was going to be gone for months. Ladies and gentlemen, English is not my first language, but I'm pretty sure that when I say he might, parenthesis, he might not be back for a week, 2 weeks, maybe months. That doesn't necessarily mean that I'm affirming that he's not going to be back for months. He might. That word might. Can't forget about that word might. Well, if he wasn't that bad of an accident, Why was he out of the hospital within 9 days? I don't know. Only thing I can tell you is my grandfather, at the age of 65, went into the hospital, had a leg surgery. They found a tumor in his brain, removed it. So he had a leg surgery and a tumor removal out of his brain. They removed it through his nose. His face was swollen like this. And he was chilling at home 15 days later. Now, I want you to compare a brain surgery 3 days prior to that, 4 days prior to that, a leg surgery. I want you to compare that to just a simple car accident. So, Mr. Shakamelks Rogers, the way men are brought up in my culture is if you got an issue with another man, don't go gossip with a different man about that other man. Take care of business. And last I checked, Punch goes live. Punch goes live. And last I checked, Punch puts his emails in the description. And last I checked, I've never seen him run from a debate. So go take care of business. You might not be from my culture, but I encourage you to put that in practice. Puerto Rican Ron Ranger, he's already at 154. Xander's coach didn't want him making that. Oh, he's already at 154. Well, there you go. There you go, Puerto Rican Ron. There you go, Yono. Straight to my point. That kid was not going to be at 147 for long. Absolutely not. I seen Berlanga as a prospect until early 2023. Well, as long as they keep him away from David Morrell Jr., as long as they keep him away from Benavides, he's going to be doing okay for himself. He's going to be doing okay for himself. Y'all might think, oh, hey, you talk about David Morrell Jr. because he's Cuban and you're Cuban. No. Get nationality out of your head. I want you to go look at Morrell Jr. fight. Not the typical fighter that gets fed a bunch of nobodies. In his second professional fight, he fought an undefeated fighter with 20 fights and schooled him. Became a champ, WBA champ, with 3 professional fights. Defended his title against Casares, knocked him out in the first round. In fact, while we're at it, look, Shaka Khan, or whatever your name is, Punch is live right now. Take care of business. Go on over there and take care of business, boy. While I'm talking to you guys, let me play you all that little video. Let me play y'all that little video while I'm talking to you guys. Hang on tight with me. Hang on tight. It's not that it's a Cuban thing. It's just a boxing thing. It's a boxing thing. It's a boxing thing. And when I say David Morrell Jr., the reason I keep saying keep Berlanga away from him is because David Morrell Jr., unlike Berlanga, has a very successful, world-recognized pedigree. World champion plenty of times. Caribbean champion plenty of times. Been all over the world. Think only lost like 4 or 5 amateur bouts. Most of them was inside of Cuba against the guy that keeps getting gold medals every time he comes out to the Olympics or the Pan American Games. And this kid right here is a very patient fighter. He's a southpaw. Is extremely lengthy, has a lot of reach, and has some pop. Boom. Boom. This kid right here is not your average fighter that's going to stand there and exchange. That kid right there is the kind of fighter that's going to take his time, think it through, execute, and get you out of there. But Berlanga is a very exciting fighter for the sport. Don't get me wrong. I just don't agree with the people that say, Oh, the face of Puerto Rican boxing. Do not listen to the commentators because they selling you a product. And I just don't want y'all to be lied to. Berlanga needs to work on cutting off the ring and punching to the body. Not only that, he needs to work in his defense, especially at the mid-range. When he buckles in, he put his earmuffs on, looking to land the overhand right, looking to land a right hook or a straight right cross. He's too squared off. And if he's up against a very credible opponent, he's going to be eating uppercuts. He's going to be getting set with a left hook, check left hook, followed with a nice right uppercut, and that might be a potential danger for him. He's already shown that he can go down. They all can. It's just a matter of the right shot. It's just a matter of the right shot. Huckamus, and most of the young American boxers are acting like entitled divas now. Facts. And I wouldn't call it just American boxers. Most young, up-and-coming, successful boxers are acting like divas, like entitled. But yeah, it's bigger in America. I agree. Little boo-boo. Oh, yeah. Too many littles to keep up with. It's a Shaka Khan. See, these Boricuas with their little hair and beard lineups. So what's the problem with hairs and lineups? What's the problem? Ain't nothing wrong with that. And just Boricuas. You see white folks. You see black folks. Cuban folks. Everybody wants a nice, crisp, fresh haircut. What you mean Boricuas with their lineups and stuff? What you mean? What you mean? Go to Instagram. Go to all these barbers. Everybody looking for the crisp cut. Bruh, in the Bay, they charge $40 for a cut. Here, I think they're up to $35 right now. And if you want a beard, your beard done is $45. But there's a barber here that does house calls for $150. I'm sorry. He will not be knocking in my door anytime soon. That's it. Shaka is some undercover account. Probably. He probably want to punch homies that gets into the live streams and kisses on punch to gain some subscribers, but then he's got this other side account. Because I can't understand a man talking about another man to another man who's not connected to the man he has an issue with. I really don't get it. I'll be going in there taking care of business myself, boy. That's it. Ain't nobody else's business. I got problems with Punch. It's me and Punch. That's it. Why do I need to go to D-Styles Live to talk to D-Style about the issues that I'm having with Punch? What the hell kind of way of taking care of business is that? El maldito licor. Raw boxing. Great combat night yesterday. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, Errol Spence, who did not have a seatbelt on, did flips several times before exiting through the car window, and all he got was a face injury and broken bones. Yet I see boxers more face scarred than Earl. But that's that's exactly my point. Just because such and such got hit in the face by whatever and got a scar from here to here doesn't mean that Joe Blow, when he gets in the face by a bat, is going to have the exact same scar. And at the end of the day, I really don't see a reason for Punch to lie. There's no benefits. There really isn't. And the fact that Boo Boo Andrade, I think, went to the hospital or called him or whatever, and also something on Twitter, that right there, I don't really care. I'm not Punch attorneys. I don't have a reason not to believe the man. And that's that. Donaire and Lomachenko both are wanting to be undisputed at their respective division. Yes, I believe I believe Lomachenko will not get that opportunity. I don't think that. I said it last night. I'm going to go into that as soon as I get caught up with the comments. I'm going to go talk about the main event, Commey versus Lomachenko, and then we're going to go into all this stuff. But I don't think he's going to get the opportunity to be undisputed, and I'll explain to you why as soon as I'm done. But I'm going to get caught up with the comments first. Yeah, that means what? Using the logic, Earl never got in a car accident. Hey, man, stop schooling these people. Oh, Earl had evidence. So you're the kind that requires evidence from a total stranger who's not connected to you, yet you expect the stranger to feel the obligation to please you. And if he doesn't please you, then you don't believe him? Well, congratulations. You played yourself. You played yourself. And another one, DJ Khaled. Vitaly Pico. Tank Davis won't fight the big dogs at this prime, just like Floyd. All of you open your mouth about it. You're a fair game making in public. Whatever, man. Hey, man. Take care of business, man. Take care of business, man. Come on, man. Take care of business. Let me put you on a little timeout. Go to punch line. I'm gonna time you out. Go to punch while I time you out. I ain't got no room for people like that, man. I need real men in my chat. I need real men. And I'm not talking about fighting nobody. A real man is not a man to be fighting in the streets. Nah, just morals, values, manners, and the capacity to take care of business. When you're in doubt, take care of it. Is it that hard to do? I'm just saying. Go into the main event of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Vasily Lomachenko went up against Richard Commey in a very exciting fight. A fight we thought was going to be over in the 7th round. I believe that Lomachenko, with his little stunts, allowed Richard Commey to survive. He thought he was going to get the corner to stop the fight, but you heard the coach. I know Commey. He's tough. I'm not going to stop the fight just because Lomachenko's telling me. But it looked good, didn't it? It looked good in front of the people. Oh, man, you see how he was pointing out or whatever? It looked good. But nevertheless, it's not the kind of thing a fighter should do. Commey looked hurt enough, in my opinion, to get finished. But Lomachenko stepping back and pulling all those little stunts, I think he allowed him to survive a little bit. And Commey took opportunity of it and survived 12 rounds. Now, people are saying, you need Chacal from Don Francisco. When you boat someone, I'm going to have to get me El Chacal. ¡Y fuera! ¡Y fuera! I'm going to need something like that. Tony Boswell in the building. My man, what's going on, brother? Take care of yourself. Much respect, Raw Boxing to be in the chat. Stop in to show the support and hit the like button. Salute 100%. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your constant support. God bless you. Be safe. Whether you're working, whether you're on your way home, be safe. But yeah, last night, Mr. Vasily Lomachenko, allow me to share the screen all over again here of what I'm looking at. So I want to share that with y'all. Mr. Vasily Lomachenko last night might have not pleased a bunch of people that wanted the knockout. I personally thought that he needed a knockout. But I got to be honest with you. I'm a sucker for technicians. And Lomachenko last night showed me that he is not only a technician, because I already know that, but he also showed if he can't get you out of there, he's going to keep a certain level of aggression. He kept a certain level of aggression to make the fight exciting. Not only that, But as you're seeing here, Richard Commey was in the fight. Yeah, he was getting schooled, but you're seeing it. I don't have to tell you. You're looking at it right here. You're looking at it right here. Right? You're looking at it right there. You're looking at it. My man, Richard Commey, who, in my opinion, has absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. His pride was hurt last night. He was fighting for his people. His wife was brought to America for the first time at ringside watching him fight. I'm pretty sure his pride was touched. I know he wanted to win, not just because obviously as fighters you always want to win, but he wanted to win for his wife. He wanted to win for his people. But let me tell you something. Richard Commey last night lost against the best lightweight in the world, in my opinion. A guy with such an extensive boxing pedigree that if you lose to a guy like that and you go 12 rounds, you have absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. In my opinion, Richard Commey can still do really good at lightweight. And he was landing really good body shots on Lomachenko. They just weren't enough to get Lomachenko's respect. As you've seen, the inside, they just kept going at it. Lomachenko, I wouldn't say had zero respect for Commey. No, that's not what I want to say. I'll just say Lomachenko's Commey's punches weren't enough to just bring Lomachenko to a stop. To have Lomachenko stop the relentless attack. Always enjoy the content and conversation on this channel, Raw Boxing TV. Thank you so much, sir. Always enjoy your presence as well. And always thanking you for your support. What's next for Lomachenko? That's the question. And I know a lot of people are saying Lomachenko wants to be undisputed. Of course, anybody would want to be undisputed. In the lightweight division, in my opinion, right now, oh my gosh, the lightweight division is, I've said it in the past, I'll say it again. The lightweight division is a weight division loaded with talent, but in the same way it's loaded with talent, it's also loaded with a bunch of drama. Yeah, I know Kambosos beat fair and square, put a clinic against Teofimo Lopez, gave him the beatdown of his life. I know Kambosos said, yeah, we're going to do it in Australia with Devin Haney. Allow me to be the one to burst your bubble. Mr. Kambosos will not fight Haney in Australia. Australia is not open. In fact, Australia will not be open at least for a year or two. Australia is one of the most radical countries when it comes to this COVID stuff. To the point, a lot of people are not even allowed to go to grocery stores, whether they have COVID or not, whether they've been vaccinated or not. They have some special team assigned by the government to go to the grocery stores, bring your packages and put them in the porch. You come out, take them and go right back into your house. Does that sound like something suitable to put a boxing event? Do you actually think a millionaire is going to invest millions of dollars in a boxing event to be taking place in Australia in an empty arena so people can just pay a pay-per-view and watch it through a TV screen? Nope. And so I smell a bit of foam, gas, cap being born. Oh, yeah, the fight's going to happen in Australia. No, it's not. In fact, I don't think Kambosos is going to fight Devin Haney at all. You heard it. I don't have to sugarcoat it for you. I hope I'm wrong. I truly hope. I wish nothing more than for you to come back to one of my live streams and said, you're wrong. I'll be like, I know. I stand corrected. Boxing wins once again. But I truly believe that this fight's not going to happen. Now, let me tell you why I think Lomachenko will never get a shot at Undisputed. So Teofimo, I hardly doubt that he's going to come back to 135. In fact, I believe Teofimo will move on to 140, keep himself from all of that weight cut, move on, and take care of business. The lightweight division has Tank Davis. The lightweight division has Devin Haney. The lightweight division has Mr. I call everybody, but I don't fight them, Ryan Garcia. Mr. Hand Injury. A new star is born in the lightweight division in Tank Pitbull Cruz. I believe that Kambosos Jr. will choose to fight Ryan Garcia because the money is better. You heard it first. I believe the money that could be potentially made with Ryan Garcia, that's what this man is after. I also believe that undisputed status will not go for Lomachenko. I think if Ryan Garcia and Kambosos fight, it's a 50-50 fight, in my opinion. And relax. Oh, how can you say that, Ranger? Relax. I do believe it's 50-50. If the fight gets made, I'll tell you why. I'll reserve that for another day. I'll reserve that for another day. Eventually, those belts are going to be vacant. Promise you that. If the fight happens, Kambosos and Haney, I believe Haney will completely outbox Kambosos. And then Haney will become undisputed. But then I believe Haney will do the same thing Canelo did. Become undisputed and move on. Because Haney's another fighter that is having issues making weight. Now, once Haney moves up, belts are vacant. I said bacon. Oh my goodness. Vacant. And then you're going to have Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia, Jojo Diaz, El Abejon, Mr. Cruz, Kambosos, all these people. Lomachenko fighting for each one of those belts. To see an undisputed at that weight division again, we might never see it. Because those belts are going to be dispersed between fighters. And then to get them to fight each other, it's going to be extremely hard. Especially some of those belts go to Mayweather Promotions. Mayweather's not going to put Tank Davis in front of Lomachenko. Are you kidding me? Especially after that fight last night. Mayweather is not going to put that fight together. I believe the guy right now to give Lomachenko a fight is Jojo Diaz. Jojo's not scared of nobody. He's not. I believe in Lomachenko and Haney fights. I believe Lomachenko destroys Devin Haney. You heard it here. If you're a citizen of Haneyville, sorry for you. Sorry for you. I got to do this because I'm going to talk about Devin Haney, and I know emotions can run high, so I'll do this while I get a water break. Don't say I didn't warn you. Don't say I didn't warn you. Let me get caught up with the comments real quick. Mr. Tony Boswell, you might be onto something. Never thought about it in that way. If it's money you're talking about, Tank or Ryan are the first with the biggest. Yeah, correct. And people, well, Eddie Hearn will make sure that Tank Davis, that Kambosos and Haney make a lot of money. Yeah. But the money that Ryan Garcia generates is probably 3 times the money that this kid will generate. Kambosos might take the easier route. He might look at Ryan as the easier route. Easier, bigger money. And again, I'm not breaking the fight down yet. 50-50. Keep that in mind. If the fight gets made, I believe it will get made. Trust me. Trust me. I wish nothing but to be wrong. I'm telling you guys, if the fight gets made, then I'll do a breakdown of both fighters. I know that the image of Ryan is stained. I know he got dropped against Luke Campbell. So what? Oscar De La Hoya got dropped early in his career. 8 fights into his career. And look, Oscar De La Hoya was the kind of fighter that fought everybody. One thing you can never say about De La Hoya is that he ducked a bunch of fighters. He might have ducked a few, but that boy fought anybody. He fought everybody. Tito Trinidad, Fernando Vargas, Genaro Hernandez, Sweet Pea Whitaker, Chavez, Bernard Hopkins, Felix Stern, Ricardo Mayorga, Manny Pacquiao, and the list goes on and on. So what if they go down in their careers against a lesser opposition? It's boxing. And the lesser opposition has a brain, has 2 legs, has 2 arms, and 2 hands, and is also capable of punching. And he didn't get dropped by nobody. He got dropped by a very skilled Olympic gold medalist. A very skilled Olympic gold medalist that when he left the team that was giving him success as a professional, started noticing a lack in his game. Don't sleep on Ryan. Trust me, I hate what he's doing. What he's doing got nothing to do with him having or not having skills at all. Keep that in mind. 50-50 for now. 50-50 for now. Trust me. Puerto Rican wrong. I used to think that Devin Haney would beat Ryan Garcia easy. Now I believe it's 50-50. I haven't been impressed with Devin Haney recently. I haven't either. I believe the body work is his kryptonite. I believe after 6 rounds, his energy level starts dropping. I believe if he gets an opponent in there that hits really good. And another thing, I haven't seen Devin Haney fighting a lot of fighters with a lot of reach. I haven't. Except for Linares and a few others that were really, really lesser opposition. That's just the truth. Haney is food, I guess. Tony Boswell, Tank isn't fighting Loma. He wouldn't go Kambosos, but Loma is just too much, in my opinion. Loma would destroy Tank Davis. Lomachenko will completely annihilate Tank Davis. Lomachenko will completely annihilate Devin Haney. I don't see nobody, absolutely nobody beating Lomachenko in this weight division. Nobody. Too much movement. Oh, well, he doesn't have the power. So what? Loma is the true Kane. My opinion, he is. Loma's absolutely abuses Devin Haney. That is a fact. Joe Lopez, 40 ounces. Welcome to the building. Haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for being here. Time for Tank to leave TMT. Facts. If he wants to be great, it's time for that boy to leave that promotional company. Shoeshine Boxing in the building. They're having a show tomorrow night. Make sure to go check their show out. Dave, put the time on what time you guys are going live here in the comments so people know. Make sure to check them out, man. Make sure to check them out tomorrow. Manny got KO'd early in So did Khan. Hey, man, like I said, people get tripped. People don't realize this stuff anymore. Oh, well, so he got dropped. He sucks. Man, stop. Man, stop. Oscar greater than Floyd. Correct. At least has a better resume than Floyd when it comes to people. Oh, well, don't you get a Ranger? Floyd fought 16 consecutive world champs and beat them. Well, congratulations. Congratulations. Vitaly Pico, Haney's chin is not very good. Cruz KOs him early. Ooh, that's a very ambitious statement. Very ballsy statement. But I guess anything can happen in the sport of boxing. Anything can happen in the sport of boxing, man. It's the beauty of boxing, right? Mr. Tony Boswell, Cruz puts everyone on notice at 135. They really thought Tank would get him out of there when Tank Power didn't even stop him. Tank fought to survive. Facts. A star is born. Tony, I was one of the ones that thought Tank was going to clean house with this kid. I truly thought Tank was going to come in and destroy him. I was very surprised by Cruz. A star has been born in the lightweights. Shakamel Williams Cepeda at 135 can be the wild card. Do you think so? Cepeda is a good fighter. 135 will. Who knows, man? Like I said, 35 is packed with talent right now. I don't see Cepeda doing much with Loma or anything with Lomachenko, really. It's hard to say, to be honest with you. Good fighter, but I don't always go, styles make fight. When I make a prediction, I look at both fighters. I see the way they fight. I try to imagine in my head if you put those two styles together, and that's how I make my predictions. Sometimes I get it right. Sometimes I get it wrong. That's life. Shoeshine Boxing for sure, 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. As soon as D-Style HCP show wraps it up. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow, if you are in the Pacific time, 7:30 p.m. Shaka, yes, William Cepeda going to be a breakout Mexican star at 135 next year. Brutal power and pressure and good ring IQ. Yes, but I look at the things he's done and against who he has done him. I believe a very well-educated boxer gives him enough problems to not be able to implement that power with ease. But again, hell of a fighters. Styles make fights. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the lightweight packed with talent. Will Lomachenko be undisputed? I highly doubt it. Will Kambosos fight Devin Haney? I doubt it. At least not in Australia. It's not going to happen in Australia. It's just not. Look at the condition of the country. I mean, Australia right now is about the only country in the world that's taking indigenous people, treating them like cattle, casting them to away islands. They're not even considered part of the society. And these people are sending SOS for help. I'm not trying to get political. I'm just saying the fabric of the nation is destroyed. Ain't no boxing match going to take place in Australia. So all this little yada yada, yeah, we're doing it in Australia, mate. No, it's not going to happen in Australia. And if it doesn't happen in Australia, it's sure as hell not going to happen in America versus Devin Haney. But what I do think is the Kambosos might think, listen, Ryan Garcia's been inactive, mental issues, hand injuries, got dropped the last time. I can make a lot of money with him and look good in front of millions of people doing it. And I can at least have one defense of my undisputed status. So that way, when I fight again for my undisputed status, I'll make a bigger purse because now I'm not only undisputed, but I've defended my undisputed status. He might think this way. And then he might give a fight to Devin Haney in America. And then I believe Devin Haney might beat him, might outbox him, and then he'll move on to 140, vacate the belts, and then the belts will be scattered around the fighters. You know, Richard Commey might get one. Lomachenko might get one. Ryan Garcia might get another belt. Tank might get a few. And if Tank gets a few, you can say goodbye to those belts because that promotional company has already stated very clear, we're not here for legacy. We keeping it in our circle. It's all about the money, baby. That's what they're doing. Cruz needs a payday. Yes, sir. He deserves a payday. I believe he's going to get a payday. I truly believe Mr. Cruz made enough of a good statement in front of American boxing fans. The next time he comes back into the ring, people are going to be waiting there to see him fight. And because of that, I believe his stock has risen, and I believe his paychecks should be better. Now, the thing I hate the most, but it must be respected, every country's got it, not just America. So before you go, oh, America, every country's got it. When a foreigner comes in, they pay 45 to 50% of their taxes, depending on what nation they're from. So if he makes $1 million, he's paying $500,000 in taxes. And then he's got to split the rest of that $1 million between his team. He's got to pay his coach. He's got to pay his manager. He's got to cover the expenses for training camp. And then he keeps. So out of $1 million, he might keep 180, maybe 200,000. Mr. Cruz, if he makes $1 million. Now, $200,000 in Mexico is a whole lot of money, but it's still not $1 million. It's still not $1 million. So I'm going to drop the link. If anybody wants to come in, you're more than welcome to. We'll chop it up about whatever you want. And here. Give me a second here. We'll chop it up. If you got something to say, we say it. This is the right time to do it. If nobody comes in, I believe I have talked about everything when comes in. I might call it a day. Puerto Rican Rang says, Raw Boxing TV, what do you think of rumors of Tank's pay-per-view only doing 50K to 80K PPV buys? Those are the rumors. What do I think? It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, before, what was he doing? Like 150,000, 200,000? Probably. People might have seen that. Nobody knew Cruz. Nobody knew Cruz. So people might have been like, shoot, I'm not paying whatever they charging to see Tank just completely wash this kid. I want to see a hell of a fight. Remember, Cruz was filling in. Cruz was filling in. Tank was going to fight. Who was he going to fight? Gosh, I'm so tired. I don't even remember who he was going to fight. Anyway, I'm sure it'll come to my mind later. But Cruz was just filling in. And so now I can see why people will be like, nah, I'm not buying that pay-per-view. I'm not buying that pay-per-view. I'm not paying that money. In fact, I was on the phone that night with a certain individual whose name I'll keep in private, but he might be on the chat. He said, I am not paying for that damn pay-per-view. I got a Fire Stick. I'm watching it through there because I am not paying money to see Tank just have fun with this kid. And next thing you know, voila, surprise, surprise. Cruz comes in and gives us the fight of his life. In fact, once again, I'll tell you, fight was so tight, it could have gone either way. People still fighting about who won that fight. And I don't blame them. I don't blame it at all. I don't blame them at all. I don't blame them at all. Let's see here. I do not blame them at all. So if they're saying that that's what he brought in, 50 to 80,000 pay-per-views, I'm not surprised at all. That's all I got to say. Let's see here. I'm trying to end this thing here. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, sounds like nobody's going to come in. We've covered pretty much everything, right? Unless y'all got something else to say. Again, I'll say it. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Let's see. Let me read the comments again. Vitali. Like to mention that he will pay taxes also in Mexico. Correct. I forgot about that one. The taxman took Barrera's entire bag once upon a time. Yeah. Because Marco Antonio Barrera, well, not only Barrera, there was a few fighters that got shocked by the taxes. They were coming in, fighting, not paying taxes, and then Uncle Sam came and said, "Hey, yeah, I know you don't fought now, but I'm gonna keep all of this because you've been making money too long and you ain't been giving me my cut." And Uncle Sam got to get his cut. Uncle Sam got to get his cut, and he gonna get his cut one way or another. He's gonna get his cut one way or another, and so he did. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as I stated, I believe we've talked about everything that needed to be said for today. So I think it's a good time to call it quits. Allow you guys to go and enjoy other live streams that are going on at this time. In the meantime, I still need you to share this live stream in your social media so the channel can get some exposure. I really, really appreciate the support you guys have been giving me over the past months. Puerto Rican Rum, good to have you here, brother. My pleasure. Yo, no. Take care, my brother. Take care, my brother. Always. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a live stream tomorrow. There's a guy out of Vegas that's contacting me on Twitter. Has a very big YouTube channel. He's a Cuban guy. He does Spanish, and he used to follow me in my other channels. He found me all over again, and he sent me his contact. He wants to schedule an interview, and if we do, it'll be tomorrow. And so I'm not sure I'll go live tomorrow, but if I do, you'll get the notification if you're subscribed to me and you've activated the bell. If you're not subscribed to me, I encourage you to do so. In the meantime, Raw Boxing TV. Till next time.